Good morning and welcome to our teen Sunday school class. We are outside in the lovely chill weather. It's great to be back, and wonderful also to know that everybody is feeling better and getting better also. So we're just going to go ahead and just start our Sunday school class. As I was studying, I was trying to, I probably say this every time, but just try to figure out what can I teach that will be useful. And teaching the word of God is very, the words in the Bible are very useful, and you get a lot of knowledge and different things from different scriptures from the Old Testament all the way to the New Testament. And so today I wanted to talk about Joshua and the Battle of Jericho. I'm not going to go into deep detail, but there's just some things I wanted to just talk about and pull out of that. And so you want to turn to your Bibles to Joshua chapter 6. Joshua is now the leader of the Israelites, and we see that they're going into Jericho, and the Lord was going to give them that city. Before that, they sent 2 spies in to spy out the city to see what everything was like. There was Rahab, when the people of Jericho were coming about, she hid the 2 spies, and because she did that, when Joshua and the Israelites were coming to defeat the city, they were going to save her. She will be saved. They told her to take everyone that would fit in her house to be in her house, and they'll be saved from the city and stuff being destroyed. You can go into deep detail about the walls of Jericho, how tall they were, how they had houses on top of them, and so that means those walls were pretty wide to be able to fit houses on top of the walls.
So there's no possibility for somebody with a battering ram to even make a dent.
And they were pretty strong walls at that. But when you read the story, you see that the God that Joshua served, nothing was too big for him. Nothing was too strong for him. Whatever it was, there going to be a way that the Lord was going to get praised for it. All right, so let's read. What happened to my? Oh, the wind turned my pages. Forgive me. I'm like, okay. Let's start in verse 1. Now Jericho was straitly shut up because the children of Israel, none went out and none came in. And the Lord said unto Joshua, See, I have given unto thine hand Jericho and the king thereof and the mighty men of valor. And ye shall compass the city, all ye men of war, and go round about the city once. Thus shalt thou do 6 days. And 7 priests shall bear the ark, shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horns. And the 7th day ye shall compass the city 7 times, and the priests shall blow with the trumpets. And it shall come to pass that when they make a loud blast with the ram's horn, and when ye hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall send up every man straight before him. Okay. And Joshua the son of Nun called the priests and said unto them, Take up the ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord. And he said unto the people, Pass on and compass the city, and let him that is armed pass on before the ark of the Lord. Okay, so they're getting prepared to go to the city of Jericho. Go to Jericho and march around the walls. It says, and the 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horns, and the 7th day ye shall compass the city 7 times, and the priests shall blow with the trumpets. So they're walking around really 6 times. That's how they'll do in 6 days, and then on the 7th time they're gonna blow the trumpets of ram's horns. And it says, when you hear the sound of the trumpet, let all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall ascend up every man straight before him. Okay, when looking at what they thought the city of Jericho and everything looked like, and to look at these walls, I don't know if you ever drive on it's at I-4, and sometimes you see these huge walls, and they have murals on them. I mean, they're huge, and you think, man, there's no way that anything could knock those down because they're so big, and the thickness and everything on those walls. And to think that the Lord said that these walls were going to fall down flat. And you also see that the priests, 7 priests, they were going to, let me find that real quick. Let's talk about taking before the ark of the Lord. So there are priests carrying the ark of the Lord. And if you go and look at different places, you'll see that when they, for instance, the Red Sea, when they went to go across the Red Sea, the priests went ahead with the ark of the Lord, Ark of the Covenant, and then the people followed behind. So the Red Sea, wasn't the Red Sea. That's not the Red Sea. I'm thinking of Moses. It was the Jordan River. That's what it was. And the priests went ahead with the Ark of the Covenant, and they were able to, of course, walk on dry land. The people went behind, and so the Ark of the Covenant was something that was powerful and something that helped them win. And can anybody tell me what was all in the Ark of the Covenant? Remember what was in there?
The 10 Commandments.
10 Commandments, yes.
Aaron's rod that had budded and never, whatever that was.
Mm-hmm.
And the manna.
Yes.
Manna.
Yes, those are the 3 things that are in there. And so I was looking at that just to see what the manna was when they were wandering around in the desert, and the Lord sent them food, and he sent them manna. It was kind of like a bread or something like that, and it's almost like remembering that the Lord still will provide for us even when we are wandering around in a desert place. And then Aaron's rod, that was to distinguish who was going to be priest, because they had different tribes. They had the Levites, they had oh goodness, why can't I think of any other tribes, but Judah, Benjamin, and so, but they were trying to determine who the priests were going to be. And Aaron's rod, they all threw in their different rods, and the one that budded was going to be the priests. And then you have the 2 tablets, which is the 10 Commandments, which was covenant, for the people that the Lord gave Moses, and just to remind us that the Lord still has things that He commands us to do, that He wants us to do, and want us to, lift and uphold to. And so those are just the things. Those are just the things in the Ark of the Covenant. And so, as we're gonna have to probably go a little bit because we started a little bit later. And so they were getting ready to go walk about the walls of Jericho. So let's skip down to verse 12. Yeah. And Joshua rose early in the morning, and the priests took up the ark of the Lord, and 7 priests bearing 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord went on continually, and blew with the trumpets, and the armed men went before him. But the reward came after the ark of the Lord, the priests going on and blowing with the trumpets. And the second day they compassed the city once and returned into camp. So they did 6 days. And it came to pass on the 7th day that they rose early about the dawning of the day and passed the city after the same manner 7 times. Only on that day they compassed the city 7 times. And it came to pass at the seventh time, when the priests blew with the trumpets, Joshua said unto the people, Shout, for the Lord hath given you the city. And the city shall be accursed, even it and all that are therein to the Lord. Only Rahab the harlot shall live, she and all that are with her in the house, because she hid the messengers that we sent. And ye in any wise keep yourselves from the accursed thing, lest ye make yourselves accursed when ye take of the accursed thing, and make the camp of Israel accursed and trouble it. But all the silver and gold and vessels of brass and iron are consecrated unto the Lord. They shall come into the treasury of the Lord. So the people shouted when the priests blew with the trumpets. And it came to pass, when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout, that the wall fell down flat, so that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city. And they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old, and ox and sheep and ass, with the edge of the sword. But Joshua had said unto the 2 men that had spied out the country, Go into the harlot's house and bring out thence the woman and all that she had, as she sware unto her. And the young men that were spies went in and brought out Rahab and her father and her mother and her brethren and all that she had. And they brought out all her kindred and left them without the camp of Israel. And they burnt the city with fire and all that was therein, only the silver and the gold and the vessel of brass and of iron they put into the treasury of the house of the Lord. And Joshua saved Rahab the harlot alive, and her father's household, and all that she had, and she dwelleth in Israel even unto this day, because she hid the messengers which Joshua sent to spy out Jericho. And Joshua adjured them at that time, saying, Cursed be the man before the Lord that rises up and buildeth the city of Jericho. He shall lay the foundation thereof, and his firstborn and his youngest son shall be set up the gates of it. So the Lord was with Joshua, and his fame was noised throughout the country. Alright, so if you know a little bit about Rahab, because she hid the spies, and if you go back, she said, because I'm hiding y'all, will y'all save me and my family? Because we know y'all come here and y'all are of the Lord, and we know y'all are about to destroy the city. And because she did that, and they kept their word also, Rahab became a descendant of Jesus. She was like the great grandmother.
Well, Boaz was
Boaz's son. Yes.
So then, it goes Boaz, Obed, Jesse, David.
Yes.
So,
what would that be?
great grandmother.
Yes, great grandmother of Jesus.
Of David. And Jesus was way down the line.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's how it goes.
Yeah.
If not, we'll let you know. But anyway, because she was obedient, we see that she is a part of the lineage of Jesus because of the whole family. And you see that also, that where she was delivered from. So no matter what the situation and stuff that she was in, she was delivered. She could have been right along with all those other people, but the Lord saved her and her family.
She saw the spies and said, "We've heard of you. We've heard of what your God has done." And even though she was probably in a terrible situation, just from the way that the Bible words it, but regardless of that,
she heard what the Lord could do.
Right.
And so that
she trusted in the spies that they would save her and her family.
Yes. And I believe, when you hear what the Lord can do, it changes the way you think about things or how you act. And you like, wow, if he can part the Red Sea, surely I know he's going to knock these walls down. And to think, those walls, they were flat. Not just, you take a wrecking ball and hit something, it splatters all over the place and you have to put, no, it said flat. But she trusted, and I believe that she was changed also, because when you honestly hear what the Lord can do, talking about in our Sunday morning when we got started, how the Lord is just healing people and how he's healed people and what he's doing, it makes you be like, I heard that Sister Cherie, she didn't have a fever, and she's had one for 2 weeks, Mama said, and now she's doing better. So if the Lord can help and heal Sister Cherie, the Lord can help and heal this person, heal that person. And so, but talking about Joshua and the Battle of Jericho, you do not see and hear when Joshua told the people what they were going to do. They didn't have any complaints. They didn't say, well, what if we did it this way? They trusted Joshua because Joshua trusted the Lord. And there are times where we go through different things where we don't have a lot of trust about things. But when we know that that person is trusting the Lord, it boosts our trust with things. Joshua, he was obedient. He did exactly what the Lord commanded him to do. And through his obedience, there was victory. And still today, people talk about the walls of Jericho. And they're like, there's songs about it, and there's no way that those walls could have just did that without it being a miracle. And so, and it said in the last verse, it says, so the Lord was with Joshua, and his fame noised throughout all the country. Joshua didn't want to be famous. He wants the Lord to be famous. And
he did what the Lord required of him.
Yes, he did. And
without hesitation, and the Lord blessed him.
And because of that, there was victory. And so when we are obedient and trust in the Lord, just know that there's going to be victory. This battle was a victorious battle. And you'll see throughout the Bible, there's different battles that weren't victorious because someone did not trust that the Lord was going to help them in that battle. So if we just obey and trust that the Lord is fighting our battles and that he's with us in our battles, just know that there's going to be a victorious outcome. And just pray that everyone will just really just seek the Lord and ask him to help you with obedience and trusting in him that he's got this. He has this battle that is going on. So I hope that you got something out of our Sunday school lesson this morning, and hope you join us for our Sunday morning service.